Pew, 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 pew. What is up, gamers? Welcome. Hope you guys are having a great day and or week and or month. But anyways, a couple weeks ago, I was in New Orleans, Louisiana for my friend's bachelor's party, and we were just engaging in drunken debauchery until his life ended and he tied the knot with his then fiancée. But anyways, New Orleans is home to one of the more infamous streets in America that houses a lot of inebriated craziness, and that is Bourbon Street. And Bourbon Street is definitely a sight to behold. There is large quantities of alcohol, a lot of women that tend to not have any tops on, and a whole lot of other crazy stuff that you kind of have to see to believe. But unfortunately, Bourbon Street is also home to a large quantity of homeless people and people that live in a pretty severe poverty. And after the events of Hurricane Katrina, there was even more people that were deprived of financial security. But anyways, on a lighter note, during this bachelor's party, our goal collectively was to get absolutely hammered for 3 straight days. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure we accomplished that. But on a Saturday, we were just walking around looking for trouble, women, cocaine, and booze. I'm just kidding. Maybe not the cocaine, but definitely all the other stuff. But anyways, Bourbon Street is about 1.5 miles long, and it is lined with bars and strip clubs that are all adjacent to each other. So there is over 1,000 bars and clubs of this such that are all confined to about a 1.5 mile radius. So there was a lot going on, a lot of craziness, and my friends and I were a little bit overwhelmed because we never really experienced anything quite like it. So we were walking around trying to find a cool place to go to, and we come across this one bar that specializes in a drink called the hand grenade. And basically, this drink worked exactly like a hand grenade, because whenever you throw a grenade, it always takes a few seconds for it to actually detonate. So once you drank this drink, you waited a few minutes, and then you really started to feel the effects of it. So we drank a couple of these, and we were fine, and all of a sudden, it just hit us like a ton of bricks. We were all extremely drunk. We were just walking around stumbling, and it got pretty bad when we started to get pretty sloppy. So eventually we all kind of sobered up, and then we decided to go into a strip club called Barely Legal. And this strip club was, well, it employed strippers that were barely legal of age. So what a concept there. But anyways, I started to sober up because I didn't drink as much as my friends, because I'm not really a big alcohol drinker. And so we come up to this strip club, and I see this homeless man, and he's lying in the middle of the street, and he looks like he's completely incapacitated. So I go up to this guy, and I ask, "Sir, are you okay? You don't look like you're in very good shape." And then he looked at me with a blank stare, and I don't know whether or not this guy was high or drunk or on crystal meth. But then he began to say something to me, but I really couldn't understand him because he didn't really pronunciate his words. So I felt kind of bad because this guy has been neglected by thousands of people that walk by, looking at this homeless guy lying on his back in the middle of the street. And I actually was kind of concerned for him because he could potentially get trampled because people are drunk. There's a lot of people on the streets. So I actually genuinely cared about this guy's well-being. So I help him up and have him tag along with my friends and I during our whereabouts throughout New Orleans. So we were going to different bars with him. We were buying him drinks, and my friends absolutely adored him. And people were just staring at us, wondering what the heck are those guys doing, hanging out and drinking alcohol with a homeless guy. But it was honestly pretty cool. So we all decided to go to a strip club called the Penthouse Suite, which featured women that were completely devoid of any clothing at all. So before we walk in, an old Cajun lady comes up to me and asks, "Sir, would you like to buy some sweet potato pies? I'm really trying to help out my family. We're not doing too well right now." And so I decided to help this lady out because she seemed pretty sincere about what she was telling me. So I asked her to follow me inside the strip club so that I could get to know her a little bit more, get to know her story, and just kind of converse a little bit. So she followed me inside the strip club, and to my left I have a homeless guy who's drinking a drink that I bought him. And on my right I have an old Cajun lady with a waiter's tray filled with sweet potato pies. And we were talking for a while, and I got to know her a little bit better. And while all this is happening, there's a stripper standing right in front of us that is absolutely topless. So I can only imagine how awkward that was for her, because it was pretty awkward for me as well. So we were talking for a while, and she was telling me how her family was going through struggles and that her son was in the hospital. And I did believe this lady because I had a premonition that she was actually just trying to support her family. And so eventually we're talking a little bit longer, and she asked me again, "So sir, would you like to buy any sweet potato pies?" And I said, "Ma'am, how much is it for the entire tray?" And there's probably about 30 of these sweet potato pies on this tray. And she says, "Oh, I don't know, $25." And so I said, "You know what, ma'am? Here's a $100 bill. You take this, use it on whatever you can to try to support your family in any way possible. I know it's not enough to support your family entirely, but at least it's something." And she goes, "Sir, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, absolutely sure. Take it and go to your family, and you have a very safe night." And so then she just puts her head on my shoulder, and she just starts crying. And this was a pretty special moment for me, because one of the best things in life is being able to do something for someone knowing that they can't pay you back. And I was never going to see this lady again in my life, but I felt compelled to help her because that $100 was going to something a lot more important than my drinking fund. So the lady eventually leaves the strip club, so I'm just left there with my friends and the homeless guy. And so I'm stuck with a tray of about 30 to 40 sweet potato pies. And mind you, I do not like sweet potato pies at all. They're actually one of my least favorite things to eat in the entire world. I don't know what it is about them, but I really do not like them. So I turn to the homeless guy to my left and I go, "Hey man, are you hungry?" And he goes, yeah. And so I said, "Okay, dig in." So this guy's just wolfing down sweet potato pies. I mean, one after another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eventually, he ate about 10 sweet potato pies, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is awesome. This guy's just wolfing these things down." And so I'm at the bar buying more drinks for my friends, and of course the homeless guy, and this huge, and I mean huge, jack muscular, I mean this guy had muscles on top of muscles. He came up to me at the bar, and I see him walking towards me out of the corner of my eye, and I say, "Oh crap, like what did I do wrong?" And he comes up to me and he has this real deep voice and goes, "Sir, I just want to thank you for buying those sweet potato pies from that lady, man. That's a real nice thing of you to do." I was like, "Oh, absolutely, sir. Yes, of course." And so he's still standing over me, and then he asks, "Hey, man, you got any more of those sweet potato pies? I love those things." I was like, "Oh, sir, take as many as you want. Help yourself." And I was still intimidated by this guy because he was just so huge. His arms were bigger than my head. It was absolutely incredible. So he was eating sweet potato pies. Bouncers from all over the strip club were coming up to me asking if they could have some. Even strippers were asking me, saying, "Sir, I will show you my boobs if you give me a sweet potato pie." I was like, "You can take as many as you want." So it was pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and it felt really good to be able to make that lady's day. I don't really know how I impacted the homeless guy, but I'm definitely sure he enjoyed the free alcohol. So guys, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the story that I had, and I hope you guys have a great day. I am out.